We don't need to steal native spirituality for lots of reasons. Like, one, really, our ancestors, our parents, grandparents, who were spiritually bankrupt in many ways because they had their native wisdom stolen from them generations ago, whizzed into all these countries, the Americas, Australia, New Zealand, all these places, and brought a ton of destruction. And then now here we are, generations later, years later, turning around and saying, hey, give us back what you have. Like, haven't we taken enough? And how shallow is that? I mean, that was kind of the reason our ancestors were bankrupt in the first place, because they didn't take their own experience and knowledge and use that. Native wisdom isn't like unfindable. It's the thing that you find when you're being a decent human being in the society that you live in. It's learning wisdom from everyday life and from the experience of people around you. So we can still do that. We don't have to steal it. We can find this for ourselves. Also, there are tons of teachings around that can help us get to this place without having to steal it from populations who are still in crisis and trauma from the things that have been done to them. This is non-duality is, the one I like always pointing at, because non-duality is showing you how to get out of your head, out of all the conditionings that you've been given that are making you unable to see reality as it is. It's learning how to get out of that crazy imagination that you've been told. We don't need to steal native chants and native stories in order to do that. We need to do our own work first. And then when we're solid, awake participants in life, then we can come and be allies and help the communities that are still hurting from what was done hundreds of years ago. Help them come back and rediscover what they've lost, and then we can share. So it's not like we don't have to steal it. We can, I hate to use the term, but it's like really the term that works the best. We can grow up, become responsible, become awake in your own being. Have the solid ground of reality of who you are inform you. And then you can start learning things. And so going through the Navajo Native teachings that we've been working on this week, go back through them again and look at them in a real light. And they should be telling you something that you don't already know through your conditionings, but you kind of know in your soul that what's important is how you take care of your family. That's love. How you take care of people. It's not just a fleeting feeling that we want to get and acquire. It's what you do. And how do we live in our communities in a way that we're actually an asset? Very, very complicated question. There's not an easy answer, because everyone we're dealing with is broken. And then look at these native teachings and see how really they are about how easily a human being can become broken. Like the one on evil. If we start grasping after temporary joy and temporary confidence, then we're easily swayed. And so this shows us how we can go bad, and it's also a wonderful clue of what is there available to us. There is a joy that's not temporary. There's a confidence that's not temporary. And we have the tools ourselves to go looking for these things. We don't need to steal them in any way. And then actually get right down to the crux of the matter. You're not going to get it from any spiritual teacher. Ultimately, you have to do it yourself. And ultimately, you are perfectly capable of doing it yourself. All you're trying to find out is who you are. What's real? Who is it that is looking out of your eyes? Who is it that hears the sounds that comes in through your ears? Who is it that takes what comes in through your senses and turns it into meaning? That's you. Become real in that. And then you don't need to steal anything. You can become an ally.